These are my Italian friends, Pat. How are you? Semper Fi. Hey, the Marines are here. The Marine Corps is here. Yeah, you ain't ready to go. You know, I thought I ain't ready to be a Waterbury bar has arrived. Hi, Nick. Make sure you get pictures. Make sure you get me my good side. Everybody come on over. Come on up close.
Ross, you gonna lead us in song or singing upstairs?
Et un d'or sanglant élevé, entendez-nous dans les campagnes, rugir les féroces soldats. Ils viennent jusque dans nos bras, égorger nos fils, nos compagnes. Aux armes citoyens, formez vos bataillons. Marchons de sang impur, abreuve nos sillons. Au Canada, au Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est saint de pleurants glorieux. Par ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Pour l'histoire de
Our national anthem.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through a perilous strife. For the ramparts we watch were so valiantly streamed, and the rockets circular of arms bursting in air, they proved through the night that
finish the rest of the ceremony. Thank you. Good morning, my name is Francine Nito. I'm a parishioner at the Shrine of St. Anne, and I'm happy to serve as your MC today. Today is actually the 40th annual French-Canadian Mayor for the Day ceremony here in Waterbury. So it's also held in conjunction with our big holiday, Saint Jean Baptiste. My French is not good, I have no accent at all, so I apologize in advance. We are thankful that our amazing city of Waterbury hosts ceremonies such as this to honor the diversity and heritage of our many residents. We're pleased to have with us today, along with our honorary mayor of the day, Ralph Monti, other dignitaries, including Paul Pranaruski. He is the president of our Board of Aldermen. We have State Representative Anthony D'Amelio. We have representatives from Congresswoman Estes' office, Senator Murphy's office, and we have our fine representatives from our police and fire department. Thank you. Just a little history about why St. John the Baptist, St. Jean the Baptiste, is important to us. The holiday dates back to medieval Europe in the 6th century. The French king Clovis Christianized the holiday to celebrate the birth of St. John the Baptist, who is considered the precursor of Christ, the light of the world. French Catholics continued to celebrate St. Jean the Baptiste Day when they came to North America. By the beginning of the 20th century, the annual celebration was celebrated with large processions in Montreal, Quebec City, and Little Canadas in the United States. And I found out last year that Waterbury was once considered a Little Canada, so that's kind of nice to know. The flag of Quebec and the fleur-de-lis are widespread symbols of Saint Jean the Baptiste. And in 2014, State of Connecticut officially named June 24th as French Canadian Day here in Connecticut. So before we get started, I'd like to call to the microphone Deacon Gus LeBlanc to lead us in our benediction. Please rise.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for such a beautiful day to honor our Franco-American mayor. I've been doing this since 1964, and St. John the Baptist only baptized us twice. We only had 2 days where we had rain, so we can be very thankful. So everybody bow your heads and have a prayer for our mayor for the day. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
You're all set? Okay. Please be seated. I'd like to acknowledge our former mayor for the days that are here today. We have Paulette Morcus, Janine Laliberty, Jean and Brent LaPrade, Marcel Verino, Ronnie Bouchard, Deacon LeBlanc. I think that's it, right? Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Marcel LaFontaine, one of my favorites, and I forgot him. I apologize. Thank you. This year's mayor for the day is Ralph Monti, as I said. Our committee consisted of 4 organizations and members from the Shrine of St. Anne, and we had a rough and tumble battle over who was going to get it, and Ralph, you succeeded this year. I'm not sure there are many people in our community who don't know who Ralph Monti is, whether it's because of his involvement in local real estate development, his support of area fundraisers and nonprofits, as a member of the Elks or the Vigs Club, a golfer, a bowler, cigar smoker, and a regular at many restaurants around town, or simply because of his gregarious personality. We all know him. But in the French community, we love Ralph Monti because he is a great representative of all that we want to be and what is good about being French. He gives to others, he takes care of his family and friends, and he supports the church to no end. I'm also sure there's a number of you today that read the paper, heard that Ralph was going to be mayor, and said, Ralph Monty, the French mayor of the day? Well, he is half French on his mother's side, and like my mother says, it's the good half. Pass it out, right? Ralph is one of 3 sons of the late Ralph and Roselia Gelinas Monty. He was raised in the south end of Waterbury and attended St. Anne Grammar School and Caner Technical High School. He was a parishioner of the Shrine of St. Anne, where he and his brothers received all their sacraments. He currently resides in Wolcott, which is kind of like Little Waterbury, with his wife, Sue Clement Monty. Now, Ralph's business card lists his title as a facilitator. According to Webster's dictionary, a facilitator is a person or thing that makes things easier or less difficult, helps to forward an action, a process, the progress of a person, etc., through careful planning and any kind of work. A person responsible for leading or coordinating the work of a group. Well, that describes our mayor for the day perfectly. Ralph has spent the better part of his life helping others to effect change in the Waterbury community. He's one of the founders of the Friends of St. Anne, an independent nonprofit volunteer group that's devoted to raising funds for the restoration of the Shrine of St. Anne for Mothers, one of the most beautiful places in our city. He's a member of the Waterbury Continuum of Care, which addresses the needs of low-income people in the community who are homeless, and he's an active supporter of the Brian Gibbons Homeless Outreach Fund. Now, Ralph's continued generous, altruistic giving touches nearly every nonprofit, charitable, social service, or educational organization in the greater Waterbury area. Recognition is not a motivator for Ralph's compassionate giving. He's simply taken the lessons that he learned at St. Anne's to do right, love thy neighbor, be humble, submit to authority, be wise with money, and know that what we sow is what we will reap. And he turned that message into his way of life. He's a benefactor to those in need, and every action is done benevolently, quietly, behind the scenes, without him looking for fanfare or recognition. If I had to list everything that Ralph has done for the St. Anne's community, for the Waterbury community, or possibly the state, I'd go on and on and on, but he'd kill me, and that wouldn't be good for him to do as a mayor. And it's just the nature of Ralph. Everything is quiet. He does things that he knows needs to be done behind the scenes. But kicking and screaming, he has let a few organizations honor him for his service. The Boys Club awarded him in 2006 the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I was at that event, and Ralph joked, "Lifetime achievement?" He goes, "My life's not even half over," so that's always funny. He was presented with the B. Bernard Gilliam Award for Altruism in 2007 from New Opportunities, and at that time, I remember, he had to look up the word altruism because he wasn't sure what it was, and I'm like, "Ralph, altruism, your picture is right next to it in the dictionary." He is honored by St. Mary's School with one of their Bells of St. Mary's Award for a Guardian Angel Award. He's received awards from the Sportsman's Club. He received the Empowerment Award from the Western Connecticut Mental Health Club. But this is one of a special awards that he's receiving, and we're happy that he decided to accept it because he's being honored by us, his community, and it's a coordinated day of recognition for his good work, and it's also a day to celebrate a French-Canadian heritage and the impact that we have all had on the city of Waterbury. So before we hear from our illustrious mayor, I'm going to call upon a few dignitaries for presentations. First, we have a proclamation from Senator Blumenthal. He was unable to make it today. Ralph, if you want to, I'm just going to give them all to you at once, okay? Then we have Kenny Curran from Senator Murphy's office.
Thank you, sir. Bon matin, mes amis. Good morning, my friends. Good to be here. I first met Ralph about 10 years ago. We were at a Continuum of Care meeting. It was in the old United Way building in this hot, sweltering room upstairs, and I didn't know him at the time. There were several chairs open. However, there was one chair open next to Ralph, and I didn't know him, but he just looked like a character that I would want to sit next to and spend the next hour with or so. And indeed he was. And over the last 10 years, I understand that Ralph didn't need to be in that room. He doesn't need to care about our homeless community, but yet each and every day of his life, he takes the time and puts the effort into making sure those who are less fortunate are better off. And In a day where everywhere we look, whether it be social media, the news, everyone's more interested in the mutual destruction of one another, and we're so quick to look on what separates us. Ralph every day has searches for mutual understanding and stakes out right away what he has in common with somebody and works together with them on that. And here we are in Waterbury, the intersection of faith, family, and hard work. It's no secret why the French Canadians found their way here, and certainly there isn't somebody who embodies those three values like our mayor for the day today. So on behalf of the United States Senate, I have a certificate of accomplishment presented to Ralph Monti in recognition of your selection as the City of Waterbury's 2017 Franco American Mayor for the day. Your remarkable commitment to constructing and rehabilitating affordable housing for families in the greater Waterbury area is an inspiration to your friends, family, and peers. The work you have done on behalf of the Waterbury and Connecticut residents as a member of the Friends of St. Anne, the Brian Gibbons Homeless Outreach Fund, the Waterbury Regional Chamber, and as a supporter of dozens of charitable organizations has helped uplift and support countless individuals and enrich the civic fabric of Waterbury. Your love for community, service, and your family bring tremendous pride to the state of Connecticut. It is my privilege and honor to represent you in the United States Senate, dated June 23, 2017. Christopher Murphy, United States Senator. Congratulations.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mayor Monti. Congratulations on this award. The Franco-American community is lucky to have you, but all of Waterbury is truly lucky that you give so much and stand as an icon of what it means to be a devoted member to your community and to give back to others. So on behalf of the Office of Congresswoman Elizabeth Esty, I would like to present to you a certificate of special congressional recognition in honor of your selection as a 2017 Franco-American Mayor of the Day, presented by the City of Waterbury for your excellence in public service. As a founder of Friends of St. Anne and an affordable home provider, and as a member of the Waterbury Continuum for Care, you have unceasingly worked to improve the lives of Waterbury's most vulnerable. Also, thanks to your charitable giving, institutions and organizations such as Sacred Heart High School, Unico of Waterbury, and Safe Haven, they have the continued support that they need to thrive. Thank you for your service to Waterbury, to this community, and your acts of charitable giving. Congratulations on behalf of the United States House of Representatives, signed by Congresswoman Elizabeth H. Esty, June 23, 2017. I'm so happy to have you.
And I'll ask State Representative Anthony D'Amelio. Get your ass up here, Tony.
Thank you. You know, I never knew Ralph was French.
That's why he's so nice.
First thing I have to start, Ralph, is to tell you that Senator Hartley hand-delivered this herself this morning, but she couldn't be here, so I have to give her that acknowledgement. You know, many in this room are really surprised that Ralph is mayor, but a lot of us are happy, huh? We're gonna have a heck of a day today. There's a lot of things that we want to see get done. You know, my journey with Ralph started back in 1979 when he was a janitor. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that, but he was a janitor for New England Masonry. And I started a job in a little luncheonette on South Main Street called Pat and Julio's Restaurant. And him and his dad would come in every morning, every Saturday morning, like around 4 a.m. And I hated him for that because I had to be there that early because they were the first ones there every Saturday. But you know, as life went on, Ralph, I believe, was working for the state at the same time. He was doing the custodial work. But he would do that job on Saturday just so he could spend time with his dad. And then that says a lot for Ralph. You know, I owe Ralph a lot in my life. I'm in the restaurant business, and I started my career with a restaurant called Three of a Kind, which was located on Meriden Road. And if it wasn't for Ralph Monti, that would have never happened. He was the real estate broker during that transaction. It was a really difficult sale because the building was burnt down. The sellers were a little reluctant. But Ralph was working with the Calabrese agency, got that deal done, and he actually started my career in the restaurant business. And I credit him for me being at a new location today called Verdi, because through the years, we were able to buy the property that was around Three of a Kind, and we were able to sell it a year ago, which allowed me to go on to another restaurant. And it was all through Ralph. You know, I look back, and if it wasn't for Ralph being part of my life there, that would have never happened. So Ralph, I thank you very much for that. You know, and I'm not surprised that you're getting this award today. You've been so generous throughout your life to so many people that I know about, that people don't even know the giving that you have given. Just the way you took care of your parents and your mom just says so much about you, Ralph. You know, for years, every holiday, every Christmas and every Easter, there would be gifts for my children, who are now 28, 30, and 21. There would be gifts in the back door. And I never knew who would give these gifts. And these were like, you know, as my kids got older, Dave Matthew concert tickets at the Meadows, and I'm like, who the heck is giving me these gifts? And it wasn't until about 8 years ago when I got a dog, German Shepherd dog, that he was sneaking in the back dog, and my dog Bruno caught him, that I found out it was Ralph after all those years. So once I got the dog, he threw him in the mailbox. But Ralph, you're so deserving of this. It's my honor and my pleasure for me to be here today. We have a proclamation on behalf of the entire General Assembly to present to you. I'm not going to read it because I took a lot of time, but it pretty much says what Senator Murphy's citation said, and it's signed by all of us in the General Assembly, the entire Waterbury delegation. God bless you, Ralph.
And now we'll hear from Paul Penderowski.
Good morning. I just want to start by acknowledging that we have our city clerk, Mike Dalton, here with us this morning. He's come up. Monroe Webster and George DiAugustino from the mayor's office are here with us this morning. Thank you for coming. We have our former mayor, Joe Santapetra, who's here this morning. Thank you, Mayor, for coming. Our former registrar of voters, Patty Mulhall, is here this morning, so thank you. And I never get tired of saying, but we have the best police and fire department in all of Connecticut, I think in all of New England, and I want to thank you all for being here this morning as well. Thank you for everything you do for us. You know, the good and bad part about going last is that there's usually very little left to say that hasn't already been said, but there are parts of this job that I like better than others, and today is one of those days that I really like, to be able to come and honor somebody like Ralph Monti, to recognize his contributions to the community, and give him this award, I think is something that is really enjoyable to do, and it's well deserved on Ralph's part. And I do want to echo Representative D'Amelio. You know, Ralph and I, we often come here and say that we're friends with all of these people, but Ralph and I really are personal friends. In fact, we spent 12 days traveling through Italy together last October, so we got to know each other really well. But I want to echo Representative D'Amelio in saying that out of all of the things that we'll talk about today that Ralph is being recognized for, there's an equal or greater number of things that are known only to Ralph and the people that he's helped, because in addition to all of this, Ralph just does things for people when they need it, and he doesn't seek out recognition or honor for it. He just does it because it is the right thing to do, and that's why it's so appropriate to honor him this morning. So I do have a resolution or a certificate from the mayor that I am going to take a moment to read, because it's going to take a little while because of all of his accomplishments, but whereas Ralph Monti was raised in the south end of Waterbury and attended St. Anne Grammar School and Caner Technical High School, he was a parishioner of the Shrine of St. Anne, where he and his brothers received all of their sacraments. He is one of 3 sons of the late Ralph and Rosalia Galinas Monti. He resides in Woolkit with his wife, Sue Monti. Whereas Ralph Monti has been a local real estate developer in the greater Waterbury area for more than 3 decades, hundreds of affordable housing units have been constructed and numerous buildings rehabilitated by Ralph and his partner, Bill Martin. And whereas Ralph is one of the founders of the Friends of St. Anne, an independent nonprofit volunteer group devoted to raising funds for the restoration of the Shrine of St. Anne for mothers in Waterbury. He is a member of the Waterbury Continuum of Care, which addresses the needs of low-income people in the community who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. He's an active supporter of the Brian Gibbons Homeless Outreach Fund and a member of the Waterbury Regional Chamber. He is a past chair of the Greater Waterbury Red Cross Gala, the Waterbury Up Committee, the Waterbury Arts Festival, and was a founding member of the Waterbury Festival America. And whereas Ralph's continued generous charitable giving also includes, but is not limited to, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Waterbury, Waterbury PAL, Continuum of Care Homeless Connecticut, Connecticut Renaissance, Wellmore Behavioral Health Services, Safe Haven, Greater Waterbury Interfaith Ministries, Waterbury Sportsman's Club, Pearl Street Youth Basketball, Unico of Waterbury, Granville Academy of Waterbury, United Way of Greater Waterbury, Sacred Heart Heights High School, Holy Cross High School, St. Mary's School, Blessed Sacrament School, the Shrine of St. Anne, and the Friends of St. Anne. And whereas in 2006, the Anderson Boys Club awarded Ralph Monte with the Lifetime Achievement Award for serving as a longtime benefactor and volunteer in the community. He was presented with the B. Bernard Gilliam Award for Altruism in 2007 from New Opportunities Incorporated in recognition of his commitment to education to the youth in Waterbury. St. Mary's School honored him in 2010 with the Very Reverend John J. Bevins Guardian Angel Award for advancing the mission of St. Mary's School through love, enthusiasm, and financial generosity. The Waterbury Sportsman Club presented him with a Community Service Award in 2011, and he received the Western Connecticut Mental Health District Empowerment Award in 2013. And whereas in his spare time, Ralph enjoys golfing, bowling, fine dining, and a good cigar, he is an active sometimes even not so good cigars, right? So he is an active member of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, Lodge number 265, and the Aviglianese Athletic Club. And we're impressed that a member of the Aviglianese Club is the French mayor for the day today. So now, therefore, I, Neil M. O'Leary, Mayor of the City of Waterbury, do hereby proclaim June 23, 2017, a special day of recognition for Ralph Monte as we name him Waterbury's honorary Franco-American Mayor for the day. Congratulations.
And now, without further ado, I am happy to introduce my friend, my mentor, and the greatest representative this year of the Waterbury community and the Franco-American community, our mayor for the day, Ralph A. Monte.
Thank you, everyone. Which one do I use? Very good. Thank you. Well, I have a prepared statement, which was prepared for me by Francine Needle, but I guess everything was said that had to be said in that regard, so we can just throw this away. But I will thank my family, friends, and colleagues for joining me here this morning. For me, this is a very special occasion. And I thought I'd just start out with a few stories from us growing up in the South End, because everything that had to be said was said. Me and my brother and Charlie grew up on Sandland Plaza. Some of us still remember where Sandland Plaza is. And at 3 years old, after the flood, we moved to 1101 South Main, and we stayed there, or I stayed there, until the day I was married. So it was a long journey, but we had a nice time living in the South End. Attending St. Anne's School, we couldn't afford the full tuition. So just go right next door to the church, and they were always happy to pay. And for that, me and my brothers will always be grateful. On a more happy note, every Halloween, my mother would give us the largest pillowcases that we had, and we didn't have to come home until the pillowcases were full. And it was an exciting night for us. Going up South Main Street, taking a ride on Mill Street, going down West Liberty, East Liberty, Dover Street, East Dover, coming back down South Main. By 9:30 or 10 o'clock, you couldn't fit another candy bar in that bag. You know, the generosity of the South End people, for all of us, it was just like one giant family. Every year, my father had 1 week's vacation. So my mother, my aunts, and all of them, we used to have a 4 or 5 car caravan. We used to head up Route 7 to Canada. At that time, it was a 15-hour ride. And when you had no money, you didn't stop. You just kept moving. So we get there on Sunday, spend 4 wonderful days there, and come back home the following day so my father could go to work. Some of the places where we grew up were St. Boniface, Shawinigan Falls, and Three Rivers. We used to stay at our uncle's farm. Back then, everybody had a small farm because that's the only way you ate. And across the street, there was a place called Lake LeMay. We used to spend 3 wonderful days on my uncle's dime. My mother's maiden name was Hill, and we were fortunate enough about 10 years ago to attend a family reunion. And it was a nice experience of seeing the extended family from my mother's side. We did the Halloween story, my vacation. My time here is finished. Thank you very much.
I think it's time for a glass of wine.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for attending. I'd like to thank the Shrine of St. Anne and the committee for the Franco-American Mayor for the day, and everyone that took time out of their day to be here to honor our illustrious mayor. Before we go and enjoy some cake, I'd ask everyone to please rise for Deacon LeBlanc's final blessing.
The final blessing will be a song we all know. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I'd like to tell you a little joke. A little girl was looking at the priest, and she says, "Father, why do you wear a white collar?" The priest said, "Do you know what it is?" "Oh, yeah," she says, "my puppy wears a white collar, and my mommy says it kills fleas for 6 months."
Everyone, please stay for cake. And also tomorrow, there's a dinner at the Shrine of St. Anne after the 4 o'clock Mass that everyone's invited to attend.
Remember any of the little towns, St. Boniface, Three Rivers? You were there, you watched it. Every summer, go up there for vacation.
I've seen that.
Would you mind? Like on that? Yeah, there's 20th. Right next to
Want to have your picture taken in the mayor's office?
Yeah, this is good, right here.